shameless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.
You know how fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast. If you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot. Leave now. Run in your safe space. Get your little cloth for your tears. All the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any local or government agency. Welcome to Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, the Iceman. We're going to have some guests on, special guests also. Actually very excited since I've been trying to get one of them on for a long time. He's a hard guy to nail down. He is so busy making public appearances and movie debuts and all that other stuff. But we're going to get them on in a minute. We're going to do the Patreon real quick to the full-fledged clubhouse members. Mr. Hoppy Hopkinson, our truck driving buddy. Hope he's home for Christmas, not out on the road. We got Christopher DeMars, Mr. Z. Palmer, Miss Laura Stimson, Roy Spalding. That's Roy with an S, not the Roy P. We got Miss JoJo from Down Under, our favorite Australian, Miss Kaylee Norris, Natasha A. from Washington, and our OG, Melissa Holstein. I appreciate all y'all. Appreciate the other ones too, but the full clubhouse members get shouted out every time. Also, go like and subscribe. If you like cigars, like premium cigars, go to mypatriotcigars.com. Use the promo code Motor Cop 15, you will get 15% off on your whole entire order, and if you order $100 or more, you will get free shipping. So with that out of the way, y'all can see I got people here, right over here. We got the ever famous Mr. Steve Gould from Things Police See. Been trying to get
Hello,
him,
everybody.
Been trying to get him on for like 10 years, and even though I've only been doing the podcast for coming up on 3, but I've been trying for 10. Now, this is Mr. Ken over here. I'm not going to say his last name because I, for some reason, I have the hardest time pronouncing his last name.
It's Ken Roybal.
Yes, I don't
guys.
know why I say it like, but he has a podcast which he ain't putting nothing out in a little while. You've been slacking, Ken. You've been slacking.
We do it every 2 weeks. There's an episode.
But he is a background. He does background investigations for LAPD and stuff, or just for everybody.
For everybody.
For everybody. And what's up, Jim? This is a special episode. We have to throw some together because I believe we're in 3 different time zones. I'm Central.
East Coast for me.
East, and we got West Coast.
I'm West.
We got 3 different time zones here.
3.
Like I said, and I'm very happy to have
what
them
is
on.
on your face, Iceman?
What this right here?
What is that?
I actually have a beard underneath here. It's just not quite this long, or it's not quite this dark. My beard's kind of the color of Ken's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Salt and pepper.
yeah. Pretty soon, a couple more years, no more mask. Then people will probably say, "Can you please start using the Skype, just snap camera again, so you don't have to look at your real face?"
I think it looks good, Steve.
The tattoo thingy, the whole thing kind of throws me off. You look like a serial killer.
Oh well, it's this is the mask from the filter from the guy from the game God of War or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Look at that. See, Mr. Hoppy Hobson said, "Holy cow, it's the guys from my other favorite podcast." So
Love you, Hobby.
You got
Hoppy.
all 3 of us
Hoppy.
on one.
All
So,
right.
who wants to start us off? We're gonna go on some stories, and I got the first one down as a woman is a woman that is a thief. This is a thieving woman.
This one, I couldn't help laughing at this one.
This is a picture of her right above my head. I believe she has some fake eyelashes on there. I think it is. I don't think those are real. Yeah. But if you meet this lady, I'll tell y'all now, and you go on a date with her, don't wear a watch.
Run.
Where does this take place at?
Las Vegas.
Oh, of course, Las Vegas. I would. I'm willing to assume that she is a lady of the night.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure, but we're gonna guess.
That's my
based on the crime.
professional opinion.
She knows how
on
to
that.
use that Barbie pouch.
Because they were at one point during the encounter, they were canoodling, they were hugging and stuff like that. And man, this story just is a trip. I can't believe this guy fell for this. I've done it before.
2 guys.
I would never. I mean, if I was wearing a watch worth that much money, everybody would be a suspect if they wanted to go up to my room. I'd be like, I evidently this guy's so rich he doesn't even think about it. But if I had a $12,000 watch on, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to be in a room alone with anybody.
If I could afford a $12,000 watch, I'd be sitting at home looking at it because I probably just spent all my money on the watch.
Yeah.
What's bad is, did y'all read on where she had previously before this, she stole another watch.
Yeah, $100,000.
That was $100,000 watch. That's some people's homes.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Harry Winston. I worked there security when I was in LA, and their watches started at $100K. Started at $100K.
Geez.
And they were the ugliest watches you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But people bought them.
Apparently, this young lady she's a lady of the night. That's your first clue. But then when she says, take your watch off so we could hug. And he's like, I don't want to take my watch off. And so he puts it under the pillow, and then that's clue number 2. But clue number 3, where she goes, "Here, drink this wine." How stupid is that, man? Because then all of a sudden he wakes up with no watch, and she's gone.
Yeah, I think I saw a movie about this one time.
Man.
I want to know who signed the search warrant.
Oh man, I think she just. Well, you know what? Not to give anything away, but I don't know if you guys caught this. So she gets caught, right? And then she says, "Okay, the thing, the watch is inside my private area, and I don't want you guys to do stuff to me, so I'm just going to give you the watch out of my private area." So then the news story says she takes it out. They put it in a evidence bag, and they give it back to the guy. It's like it's contaminated, dude. What kind of a bag? Oh, they put it in a biohazard bag.
I hope it was a Submariner.
Well, I'm just. Could you see him bringing in? I need my watch repaired. Well, what's wrong? It got a little damp, sir. Did you drop it in a fish tank? Because it smells a little fishy.
How do you clean it, Steve? How do you clean it?
I go ultrasonic cleaner, I think, or send it to Switzerland and have them take care of it.
Man, that's nasty.
Billy G says she did nothing wrong. She is entitled to that watch.
She earned it. Honestly, I'd be like, just keep it.
Yeah, Hoppy says it looks like she has warrants. Well, she don't have any right now because she got arrested for it. But anyway, if y'all haven't figured out, this lady, she's a hooker or a call girl, prostitute, whatever you want to call it. And she drugged a dude when she got him to the room to have a little hanky-panky going on, and decided to slip his watch up in her vaginal area. I'm being nicer because Steve and them don't cuss that much, so I'm being nicer tonight, people, so don't freak out. I didn't have an epiphany. But she is Steve may want to use this on his also, and I don't want him to have to go beep, 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 beep. But she stuck the watch up in her cooter, and I guess, like I said, I want to see, Judge, I need you to sign this warrant here. Does this say what I think? Yes. No.
Yeah, in Las Vegas, they probably get this every day.
God.
Yeah. Well, that's her thing, though. She's been arrested for that before, and so her thing, and she's in the same town. She keeps taking guys' watches, taking them to the room, take their watches, and sticks it up.
Yeah. At least she's using the Barbie pouch and not the prison purse.
Hey, she has a system. It's got to be working if she keeps doing it.
Because you see, if she used the prison purse for it, that would be a crappy situation.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
That's sad, man.
That's her right there. And she don't even look like she'd be a high dollar call girl, if you ask me. I mean, he must have been like at the Kmart special or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, was that a real Rolex, and how did they verify that?
I don't know. If you see this lady out and about, and she wants to take you home, and she says, "Look, give me some money and you can go home and have fun with me. Hide your watches." I mean, I'm still rocking my Swatch back from the 80s, but I think it's very valuable.
Yeah.
I don't even wear a watch anymore.
That's this whole story is just disgusting. I'm thinking about the biohazard bag, man. That's if you got to do that, and then you hand it back to the guy. Sign for this.
Hoppy says he thinks he saw her at a truck stop in Vegas.
Probably where
She's had a lot lizard.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
man.
thanks.
Billy says someday she's going to do that to the wrong guy, and her time will run out. Think we're taking the whole
show.
The sarcasm there is like that from Billy. Let's see what else we got. We got next. Oh, we're going down the old Hosteris part of town to Florida.
Oh yeah, I like this one. This is people think they can walk around being rude.
Yeah,
sometimes.
don't mess with Grandpa right here. He even looks like he looks like Grandpa right above my head. He looks very like a very upset person.
You know we did wrong.
Stewart, Florida. To me, you think he'd be Tanner though, living in Florida, but he's in jail right now.
These elderly communities have air conditioning everywhere, shade. No,
Florida probably has air conditioned jails. I think.
Oh, they got
He's got that look on his face. Well, shouldn't have done that then.
Yep, 75 years old.
He's defiant. So,
he's 75.
75.
He murdered the president of the homeowners association. Bet you that'll be the last time he says you need to cut your grass.
Yeah, not that shocking. You hear a lot of, especially when people get older, the smallest things become so important to them. And you hear a ton about huge fights in these elder communities when there's associations and there's boards and you're retired. You don't want someone telling you what to do. And then you have this board telling you stuff. And these people they're done. They're done with their careers. They're not having it. They're not going to take it. Especially this guy. The guy was rude to his wife. You know, that's the crazy part. That's why he lost it like that.
Well, I've
gunned him down.
I've gotten pretty mad at people for being rude to, when they attempted to be rude to my wife. Says he allegedly, I like that word, the allegedly word right there. Mm-hmm. He's standing there with a gun in his hand with smoke coming out, but he just allegedly did it.
Right, confessed.
He shot and killed his 81-year-old neighbor and his wife. He shot two people. If you shoot somebody if you shoot somebody that old, do they like cut, since that person's almost probably getting close to death as it is, do you get as much time?
Why not just physically attack him? Why not just fight him? Why the guy kill him? It seems like you're just exchanging what you have left of your life and the wife that you obviously love so much for murdering these two people. It seems insane. And then it's in the article, the wife, so he shoots the guy because he tries to confront him about being rude to his wife. The guy brushes by him, ignores him. So he blasts the dude. And then his wife is just like, he even says yeah, she didn't come at me or anything. She was just real upset that I shot her husband. So I shot her. It's like, oh my God, this guy's a nut.
Yeah, he definitely, could you imagine with him with his grandkids or great grandkids? Grandpa said no. Whack. Papa slapped me in the face.
Yeah.
I've no, like I said, my grandpa, I will say, God rest his soul, he'd have been 104 if he's still alive. But that old man, he was nice as could be to us and his family. Mm-hmm. But I did see him, he whipped a knife out on somebody one time, and I thought he was going to kill somebody, but that's just, I'm pretty sure he was probably having a post-traumatic stress incident because my grandpa was a ex-POW from World War II and fought in the Korean War also. So he whipped. I said, oh God, my grandpa's a bit about it. Because he said he was going to gut him. And I really believe that if the guy wouldn't have left that, he probably would have. Because my grandpa probably did some things that he never did tell us about from being in World War II, being captured. So this man might be, he's probably an old Vietnam vet or something like that, and just,
I don't know. This guy had a pretty good reason to shoot the guy because the guy homeowner association told the shooter that his wife left the laundry room door open, and that's fighting words, man. You tell my wife she left the laundry room door open, man, you better watch out.
You yelled at her. Time to die.
Die. And then what's this guy the dead guy, what's he doing keeping it? Does he sit there and look at the laundry room door? Is that his Super Bowl?
This must be some kind of a little retirement apartment community over there or something that they have a separate laundromat or laundry room.
Well, hey, I mean, this is unless you had Armed Society's a polite society. I think one of our presidents, Andrew Jackson, was in over 100 duels for things like this. So, I guess he didn't give the guy a fair shot, but it's not out of bounds completely.
Shot being the main word there. But this is in Florida. So
Well, I'm
Old
kind of
people-
glad that.
Go
I was
ahead,
going
Ken.
to say I'm kind of glad that the days of duels are over because that doesn't turn me on at all. You know?
Yeah, no way. My dad was a policeman in a smaller town in Cape Cod, and there was this older Portuguese guy, Louis, that we all liked. He was a character, nice guy, and he had a wicked temper, but he's like 80. And my dad said he went to an accident once where the guy it was a minor accident, kind of clipped Louis's car, and he got out of the car, and this guy he hit him was this big, like 30-year-old guy, jacked. And Louis walked right up to him. The guy's window, he got out of his car, and they ended up arguing. And Louis was on the other side because the guy was looking at the damage, and they were on either side of the door. And the window was rolled down, and Louis punched him through the opening of the window in the stomach. And the guy just looked at him like, "What are you doing?" So my dad showed up right at that moment, and he was like, "Tim, I'm glad you showed up. He was going to kill me." He's like, "Louis, I saw you punch the guy." He didn't press charges or anything, but a good example of an older person just, kind of losing it.
Oh yeah. Well, I've come across some older people out there on the road, and they're just like, I think I had more problems out of people when I was a younger in law enforcement in my 20s, because I started when I was like 24 years old. And it's like,
Yeah, people don't like that.
You go in a call and they're like, this kid, and 25, 26-year-old kid, is trying to tell me what to do. And, they're my parents' age or older. And that's, I find out now that I'm in my, 50s, I don't have that problem no more. And now you're probably saying, yeah, I don't want to have to fake this poor old guy. I'm just going to listen to what he wants to say or something.
Yeah, people like people in authority to be like, have a little salt and pepper. They like them to be, they can take it from somebody has some years on them. They don't like seeing the kids, telling them what's up.
Yeah, I can see now, because before I was like, man, I was like, people being mean to me. You little young whippersnapper, you ain't telling me what to do.
Yep.
Well, I'm of that age, so watch out.
How old are you now? How old are you, Ken?
In March, believe it or not, in March, I just signed up for Medicare.
I'm
I'm
62.
I'm 60. I'll be 65 in March.
65.
Look at the guy, though. He's got hardly any lines in his face.
No, he looks good for 65.
They say black don't crack. I think Hispanic don't crack.
It's all that Mexican food.
It's good. It's keeping you. It's like Mexican Botox.
That's right. That's right.
I'll be 52 in February.
You guys are so young. So young.
Three more years. 3 more years. Hobby says, Ken don't look a day over 47.
Thank you, Hoppy. Hoppy's my
I like
friend.
this Hoppy guy.
He actually
Cool. Hoppy.
he actually found me from listening to you when I was a guest on yours a long time ago.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Steve, you're kind of the common denominator, because I get calls from people for my consultations, and they go, "I've heard you on the Things Police See podcast," and then there are people that just love my podcast, but they really love, when we were doing Cops in the News and stuff. So you're kind of famous. You're kind of connected, Steve.
Well,
Yes, the common denominator.
I told Steve I started doing my midweek news thing because y'all stopped doing Cops in the News. I said I enjoyed it so much. I was like, well, shit, they're not doing it. I know I enjoyed it so much. I said I'll just do it and call mine midweek news. So,
I think we used to cross the line, and we didn't want Steve getting in trouble.
oh, you don't want to? You haven't watched mine, have you?
No.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know you.
you worried about? He said y'all crossed the line, Steve. You've never watched me before. I like.
Iceman is fully disguised.
Yeah, I was like, I jumped over the line and just went with it. See, Billy also says that is the same way he found me as well, is through Steve. All these people that listen to me now is because they heard me on yours.
It's great.
Steve,
Getting a lot
I'm
of
gonna
mileage
cry.
out of this cup.
Yeah, see.
That's the official.
Yeah.
Do you sell those Things Police See?
No, I got this.
Is that-
Iceman made it for me.
Well, my wife made that for him.
Is it branded on the back too?
It's mine.
It's got
yeah.
motor cop on the back.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love it.
I love that. So awesome.
Yeah, my wife does cups. Well, she was doing a whole lot more. She got a different job now, but she's starting to get back into it. Hobby says, over here we cross the line and we keep it going full throttle.
Full throttle.
We do. I'm surprised I
like
haven't
it.
got kicked off some platforms from some of the stuff I have said. And there goes a
Again.
No, I said I'm surprised. I haven't got kicked off anything yet. I don't know how. We got a bot that popped over on YouTube over there. If you want to find love, you can click on that best dating site over there. This next one,
Just don't say vaccine.
do not click on it. What, the ouchie Fauci?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one YouTube looks for, or it used to.
Well, it used to. I don't think it's as bad anymore. I think most of those people are probably, I don't know, sick. Now, I like to call this, this has to be in, I don't know if y'all know that Louisiana is like the murder capital of the United States right now, per capita for people.
I did not know that.
Yes, we did take that title away from Chicago and stuff. They actually have more murders, but we have more per the amount of people. It's done got pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's something to be proud of.
Well, scratch that off my visiting list.
Or New Orleans.
See, that makes sense to me. It's like real humid all the time. Who's not agitated,
It's not that. It's a lot of our problems started when they changed our juvenile laws. Because before down here, 17 you were charged as an adult.
Yeah, it used to be the same in Mass.
Now they changed it where 18. And we have kids that are so bad. We actually had some that they arrested and we ran out of space here, so they sent them to a juvenile facility in Alabama. Alabama called and said, come get these kids. They started a riot over here, and we're not taking any more of y'all's kids because they're too bad. Our criminal kids got kicked out of the jail.
They're like the satanic children.
Oh, it's because a lot of our murders are happening. There's all these. We've got 14, 15. We got one 14-year-old. He got 15-year-old. He got arrested for shooting somebody. Didn't have no space, so they put him on an ankle monitor at his house. He left his house and got caught in the park buying another gun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like L.A.
This next one is horrific. Like I said, it happened in Baton Rouge area. Somebody got shot at the Krispy Kreme.
Man,
it should be illegal. Well, it is illegal, but
shouldn't happen.
That's
Trying to find some peace through a donut. What's wrong with that?
well, I don't call them. I do not call them donut. They are crime fighting super biscuits.
I like that.
But
I used to work with a guy that
shooting at a. If you're gonna shoot at a Krispy Kreme donuts, that's like the most innocent place. It's full of sugar. People are happy. You're gonna go, dude. Who does drive-bys at the Krispy Kreme? Come on, man.
Well, I don't think it was a drive-by.
They knew the Mark would be there too. Like he loves Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, I think that they went there for one person. I hope that's the only person they did get. But I wonder if the little light was flashing, because the only time Krispy Kreme is good is when they're hot. Other than that, they're crap. They're crap.
Yeah, you can throw them in the microwave for like 20 seconds to get good again, but you only have 20 seconds to eat.
Well, y'all probably never. Y'all probably don't have like what's the name of it? We got some different donut places that like Mary Lee Donuts.
Mary Lee.
That one.
Yeah. We got Mary Lee Donuts, some other places like Smiley's and stuff. And see, Krispy Kreme is just, I don't know, they're just crap. And like Mary Lee's are like big and fluffy and, just airy and stuff like that. And I just feel like I'm eating a brick if I eat a Krispy Kreme donut.
I like the mom and pop places, like with the big donuts. Like they go to mom and pop place, you dip their own donuts. Those are good.
Yeah, we got a place up the road. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
I was hey, Steve, can you imagine the conversation with this guy? He's like, hey, man, where's Puppet? Puppet hangs out at Krispy Kreme, yo. Hey, fool, let's go get him. Let's go get him at Krispy Kreme.
He's like mid-bite through a raspberry-filled donut. Where you from,
Get
son?
down. Get, duck.
He went out happy, you know.
Well,
That's so sad. Yeah.
they got a place up the road that for me they make it's like the old yeast school rolls. I don't know if y'all remember. They don't really make them no more than they're wheat, but the big yeast school rolls they used to have in the lunchroom.
I feel like we're from a different planet. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
Yeah. Is this in America?
yeah. But anyway, if you ever had it, you would know what I'm talking about. But they make that here, and then but it's stuffed with boudin in it. And y'all probably never had boudin before either. But
Oh, what is that?
oh God.
Educate us.
Well, boudin's kind of like a sausage, the original boudin, and they use they use the pig intestines or whatever, the cow intestines, and they don't use that no more actually. But it's like a rice, beef, and stuff mixture. Some of them have crawfish in them and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
It's very delicious. A lot of people are like, what? What are you eating? I'm from Louisiana. We catch mud bugs and boil them up and eat them. So.
Oh, we watch those movies. We watch those movies with Louisiana in them. Yeah.
You guys are out there noodling, with the catfish, trying to get your whole army
Yeah,
of catfish.
I don't. I just use bait for that. I'm not gonna. You ever been bit by a catfish? It don't feel good, and I can see sticking my arm in it.
Yeah.
Oh, JoJo jumped on here. She says JoJo is from Australia. She says, "Oh my God, all my dreams just came true. Ken, Steve, and Iceman all in one."
Wow.
Goodness.
Look at my
I
night,
feel-
JoJo.
But
I'm so happy.
according
I'm so happy,
JoJo is at work. Unfortunately, she says she's not gonna be able to watch. JoJo is in Australia. She's like a horticulture. She works in I don't know, plants and all that stuff like that. We're trying to get JoJo to send us a picture of her physically petting a kangaroo, and she won't do it. She sent us pictures of kangaroos over there. Like she'll go to work and I'm like just hanging out outside.
Those are dangerous.
And she tells us not to. You can't make eye contact with them because they feel threatened. But we showed her videos of people, petting kangaroos, and she says Americans are crazy. That kangaroo, we're like, just go pet one. She's like, no. But JoJo might actually be coming down to visit in October. Told her I'd give her a free place to stay and everything else. I got more than enough room over here. She's never been in the States.
Take photos. Did you guys see Liberty Freedom and Whiskey's comment earlier? He said this the bearded guild. Apparently we all have beards.
That is Holstera, one of my co-hosts from on Wednesdays, and me and him also we also have that Liberty Freedom Whiskey podcast. We try to do our politics on that one and keep it off of Motor Cop.
Oh, there you go.
You're really branching out. You got
Trying
multiple podcasts. I can barely run one.
I'm trying. Well, we kind of let that one go for a little bit. We just started it back up because it's like having full-time jobs. People don't realize that. Oh, get a podcast for a hobby, they said. Okay.
It takes some work. I started in a podcasting with Steve, and then I decided to do the Police Applicant podcast. And I had, by the time Steve didn't tell me, you got to buy $1,200 worth of gear, and then you got to host it, you got to edit it. And I'm like, So I only do it every 2 weeks. Is our podcast?
Well, Ken, you can do like I do. I don't edit crap.
Yes.
I just go with it. No, I'm dead serious. I don't edit. No, I mean, I'm like, I just, especially when I do a lot of live stuff like this, there's no editing. Once it's there. But even on my, like I did one yesterday, I interviewed, I put it out already with the public information officer for Beaumont PD, and her dad is a motor cop. And her husband's a cop. I mean, her whole family's is first responders. It's amazing. And but what was strange is she brought her dad, and she said, "I can bring my dad." I'm like, "Sure, more the merrier." He's a motor cop. Me and him actually had met years back at a motor competition. So it's that small of a world. Yeah,
A motor cop competition. What do we do there?
What? You don't know about motor competition?
Have you never seen the videos on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
Those motor cops they're beasts on the motorcycles. You could put like a little pin on you could put a little pin in the middle of the parking
They
lot.
set up all like the little
that.
orange cones, and they go all around.
Yeah, but it's crazy, man. I used to ride a bike, and if I tried to do with these competitions that they do, my bike would stop, and then it'd be like a cartoon, and all of a sudden, poof, I would just be on the side. There was
Iceman. Do you ever win one of these things?
Oh, I took a third place home in Canada many years ago.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I was younger. The last one,
bike.
the last one we just did was I went to one in Mississippi, and I did win something. Mm-hmm. And it's right on there. It is the Cone Killer Award for running over the most cones. Of course, when I went in, I hit, because if you hit or bump one thing, you're thrown out of winning anything. And I went in and I hit something, and I was like, well. I looked at the judges. I said, get ready to work, guys. And I just started running over everything. So I figured I'd win something if I took everything out of the course. I kind of did it on purpose.
Do we have any footage of you?
There is somewhere out there. I just did on my YouTube channel. If you go check farther down, I think it's in October. It's we just help. We're a co-host of an agency, and I made it's like a 12-minute video I did of a lot of people and made a little video of the last competition we had here.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out.
And motor competitions are actually fun. It's it's training plus the competition, and you get to meet all these motor cops from all over the place. So
yeah. And you get to win a Casio watch.
So ours, people have won belt buckles, all kind of stuff. I mean,
you guys ever ride double in this, or is it just by yourself all the time?
What do you mean, two people on a motorcycle?
Yeah,
Steven.
That would
challenging.
Do you see any rainbow flags behind me?
that is blasphemous.
It's just
blasphemy.
What if somebody's cruiser breaks down? They're like, "Hey, I need to ride back to the station. Get on."
They call that riding bitch for a reason.
Yeah, that was No, that does not. No, we do have partner rides. Now, if you've ever got to see that, they'll take a piece of rope with some Velcro or something on the strap that is Velcroed. It's like 18 inches or 24. It might be 18, and it's from one bike to the other, and you have to ride a pattern as fast as you can to and keep it, because if the straps come apart, you're out. And you'll see some.
Wow, that's crazy.
You'll see them. They'll be moving. Them bikes are slamming into each other, competing and everything else.
I think you guys should put your wives on the back, and then have to do it.
My wife would do it because she rides with me. Oh Lord, Roy P is here. Iceman,
he timed you off, man.
Iceman always rides. I love Roy. Do you want to see my hands ever again?
Yeah,
Roy P.
Man.
Look, faster, Iceman, faster.
You see it, Roy? Roy has a fetish with my hands. Just saying. He's not a troll, but he could be a troll. He'll probably end up in Facebook jail before this is over with. So this guy, we did have a shooting at the Krispy Kreme in Baton Rouge. Yes, we don't want that to happen ever again.
I don't like it.
I think we got videos after that, or we got another story. This one's isn't this one up by you in Massachusetts?
Yeah, you know what? This is the first I've heard of. I've not heard about this at all, but I read the story and I was like, what? I went to police academy with a Cohasset guy who does canine up there.
I thought you did when police academy with the guy that got arrested. But what part of are you close to Fall River?
No, Fall River is like southeastern. It's near like New Bedford and that area. I'm out in Western Mass.
Okay, I was wondering because there's a guy, I don't know him personally, but he has like he's more video stuff, but he has like a podcast. I don't even know how I found him, but it's like 5 days a week, and he talks about a lot of the stuff that goes on in the Fall River area. So I'm quite familiar with Fall River, even though I've never been there. I would know how to get there. But I do know weed is legal in Massachusetts. Y'all have dispensaries, like big time legal.
Yep. Yeah, you can grow your own at your house, everything.
So, because he also has a podcast called Stoner Nation, which is funny because I was watching it live and made a comment on Motor Cop Chronicles on the Stoner Nation podcast, which people thought was quite funny.
Is he a cop?
No, he's not a cop.
Oh, I was going to say, what?
No, he's not a cop. No, he's not a cop. I think he dude turned himself around. I know he just got off, I think, probation or something recently or something like that. I mean, me and him are two totally different people. You know, he's on the left, and of course I'm on the right. And, but we don't get. I mean, we get along enough. I mean, we don't never met, but he'll watch mine and I'll watch his. And just because I don't, like I say, I tell people all the time, just because I don't agree with people don't mean I hate them. It just makes for better conversations.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what people need to do, honestly. I mean, just because people don't, I mean, I don't have to agree with everybody. I mean, that would suck. I mean, the world would be a very boring place if everybody believed the same exact thing.
I agree.
See, JoJo says she's doing a sneaky watch while trimming plants. Look, we're going to get her in trouble at work.
It's worth it, JoJo. He's Radio Gold. The guy here, he tried to get into the back of a PD with a chainsaw, like through the security door.
Yeah. Did you see the door? Pictures of the door?
No, I didn't see the door.
Yeah, he was like trying to cut through this metal door with the chainsaw. And he also, he carved his phone number into the door and wrote some kind of message on it. But what's funny is he was mad at them because he called them and wanted the cops to babysit his kids, and they said no.
Well, yeah,
that's rude.
He's paying their salary, you know, they can at least watch his kids for him.
Yeah, he called them and they said no. So he drove his dump truck up there, damaged the lawn, broke a limb on a tree, did all that stuff. And now I think they had y'all have civilian people that work in places, I guess. They had a civilian person working there. I guess she called for help. Well, he left and then he went home. It was a very nice looking house, it looked like.
People just lose their. We had a guy, a shift beat right before I came in. The sergeant for the overnight shift, found there was the company that was working on the town hall left an excavator in the parking lot, and it was just running at like 2 a.m. And he's like, he drove by, he's on patrol. He's like, what the hell? So we shut the excavator off, took the key out, and then they had this guy try to get in the back of the station, and they ended up. He fled. They followed him to his house where he lived with his parents. He's like in his 30s. And he fought with them. One of the guys dislocated their shoulder. He was like out of his mind. And it turns out just a normal guy, but he was trying to quit smoking or something. So this is when bath salts were like everywhere. You could get them on the internet. He ordered this like alternative to nicotine online. And it was like bath salts. And smoked a ton of it, and he like lost. The guy's still not right. Like he lost his mind.
Fried his mind.
Yeah.
Well, when I quit smoking, first time I quit smoking like regular cigarettes, I used the patches, and
those give you dreams.
Yeah, it says don't sleep with them, and I was like, well, hell, I mean, I want a cigarette when I wake up, so I like slept with them on. That I had the most messed up dreams I've ever had in my entire life. I'm talking like extremely vivid dreams too, like wake up breathing hard because you've been running from something or something like that. And I could imagine we had a guy down here years ago when I was still at my old apartment. He smoked some bath salts or some of that Mojo or whatever it was. Completely lost his mind, and took his pregnant fiance or wife and cut the baby out of her.
Oh my gosh.
Woman survived, baby did not. The scene was so horrific. We actually had a newer officer on, and she's still in law enforcement, but she's not on patrol no more. She's working like juvenile stuff and with kids and stuff now. But it was horrific. I mean, he did that too. I mean, and I forget how much time. I don't think they gave him life, but he got a whole bunch of time because in court, I mean, it's like once he realized what he had done and everything. I mean, it was bad. But I don't see why anybody want to smoke that stuff on purpose or anything else like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holstera said down here in Florida, they had a man they caught this other man eating a man. He killed a man and started eating his face. And
Zombie.
He did not get found guilty of it. He got put in some mental hospital for a while.
There's stories of guys that whack their pee-pee off, man. They're junk, man, because they're on drugs. And wouldn't want to wake up from that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hell of a night. I lost my watch, and where's my penis at?
Gus, it's in the bag. Here's the bag. It's a biohazard bag.
Yeah, we had a guy from Ohio on the show. A deputy from Ohio said no drugs involved at all. The guy completely emasculated himself. Balls and penis, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then put it in the reservoir of the toilet.
Wow, was he keeping it chilled for?
He was just bipolar. He said he went in a really hot shower, and he cut it all off. And when he showed up, he opened the hotel room door, and the guy's just lying there like a Ken doll, just completely gone.
Wow.
No drugs in the system at all.
Ooh.
You guys, I don't know if you're old enough for this, Steve, but Motorman, you might be that guy, John Bobbitt.
Oh, yeah. Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah.
Lorena Bobbitt.
How'd you like the cop that found that? I found it.
They did.
I know
they found it.
Yeah.
He reattached it, right?
Sewed that sucker back on, and then he went on to do porn movies.
It didn't work, though. That was the thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Hoppy says y'all just took a little off the top. Holstera says my wife once tried to chop mine off, but she missed. They charged her with a misdemeanor.
Mr. Wiener. Mr. Wiener. Bada bing.
Yeah, but this guy, then they had the SWAT team go out. They had a standoff. He was hanging. I mean, I think the kids were 3 and 5. He went all Michael Jackson on them at one point, was like dangling some of the kids out the windows and stuff like that. Jeez. And of course, the guy's got to have some mental problems to be like that. There's a funny part of this, because I guess this is nothing against y'all people over there in Mass, but besides all of these crimes that he committed, they also charged him with the willful destruction of a tree. For when he broke a limb off the tree with the dump truck when he drove through the police.
Rude.
And I'm like, that's even a law? The willful destruction of a tree.
That's property.
I was like, wow, okay.
And if this guy was having some kind of psychotic episode, who was the Einstein that said, "Hey, honey, can you watch the kids?" Did he just kind of just go off all of a sudden, or
they said that he's had? I think farther down the story, I'd read that he's had some episodes before, not to this extreme, but yeah, it definitely he definitely needs to get some help. Yeah. He has. I watched a short video on it, and it's like he has no remorse too in court. He was just like, yeah, whatever. Just it's like he didn't care.
I did what I did.
Yeah. Chainsaw. I need a new blade for my chainsaw. It's all messed up.
Well, it says that the children were reunited with their mother and grandfather outside. Like, where were they? When I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to the police station with this chainsaw, and
yeah, damn cops. JoJo says leave the trees alone. Yeah, but they say they had video. He showed him hanging out. He threw a plastic dinosaur, and some other stuff at the MRAP or the whatever they have for the SWAT vehicle over there. I mean, here I'm gonna T-Rex y'all's ass.
Steve, you might have to leave Massachusetts. This is getting dangerous.
Yeah, they're you guys ever heard of the blue laws in Massachusetts? Like the old blue laws that are on the books? They're like
sounds familiar.
There's crazy old laws on the books in Mass, like before you get married, you got to kill like 7 blackbirds or 3 crows. It all stems from also like the package stores aren't supposed to be open on Sundays because it's the Lord's Day, so they're closed. They've changed all that now, but there's a lot of old blue laws that Mass they might not abide by them, but they're on the books.
I wonder if in Utah they used to have where you couldn't buy liquor on Sundays, and all the liquor stores were state owned. I don't know if they still do that anymore.
New Hampshire's like that. It's all state owned. If you want booze, you got to go to a state owned store. My buddy, he's a businessman. He goes to Utah, and he said when you go to a restaurant and you want a drink, they can't make it in public eye, so they put it behind a little booth and they mix it for you. And then when they bring it to you, you cannot walk or move with an alcoholic drink. It must stay at all times at your table. I think obviously it stems from Mormonism. It's the Mormons run the state, so it's they understand it's going to affect commerce not to allow alcohol, but they have these very kind of like their special underpants. They have this very weird way of managing it. Very weird.
Yeah, we have drive-through daiquiris here.
I bet.
No, I'm joking.
You can in a sausage-filled roll.
No, you can. No, we actually have daiquiri shops, daiquiri stores. That's what they sell. It's like a bar basically. You can go inside most of them, but they have drive-through windows. I can drive up and order. Give me the extra large, which is like 64 ounces or whatever. Give me an extra large daiquiri with 2 extra shots in it, and you buy it and they give it to you. The reason how they get away, if they hand it to you, it don't have a straw in it. It's not an open container until you put a straw in it, because everybody waits until they get home to put the straw in it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, no, people see that all the time. They're like, "Oh, well," it's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to the drive-thru and grab some daiquiris, and I'll be right back." That's
awesome.
Yeah, we have drive-thru alcohol.
You guys can drink in public too, right? There's no
we do actually do.
Just New Orleans.
Well, most of our places are, if they're parades and all that stuff like that. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I've never looked at somebody and said, "Hey, you can't have that out here in public." As long as you're not, just walking around, acting a fool, most of the time it's fine. I mean, it ain't nothing to go to a local park here or something, see people barbecuing or something like that, and they'll be drinking beer and stuff like that. I mean, people really just don't. We don't mess with it. I mean, not unless we got drunk in public or stuff like that, but you can't go to a crawfish boil without drinks. I mean,
right.
If you ever eaten a crawfish before.
I don't think I have. I've eaten like a actual lobster, but not like the little mini ones that live in rivers.
Well, yeah, it's ponds, but they don't like moving water. But yes, it's like it's like a little baby lobster, just a lot smaller. And
what's it taste like? Is it fishy or?
No, we boil it in all kind of spices and seasonings.
You eat it shell and all, or?
No, you got to peel it.
You peel it first.
Yeah, some people will suck the head. Some people will suck the heads. I'm not a big doing that, but no, you peel it and eat the tail meat, and we boil.
Little lobsters. Steve, you over there? Remember Victoria Gardens, just north of Ontario?
Oh yeah, I love Victoria Gardens.
Yeah, there was a right there before you got into the Victoria Gardens. There was like that crab shack,
crawdaddies or something.
Yeah, they used to have those there. That's why I used to eat them. But they used to bring you a whole bunch of them. But that's a lot of work, man. If you do that much,
once you learn how to do it, I can show you how to do it. Where you can, we'll have crawfish boils here during crawfish season. We'll boil, 100 pounds of crawfish at a time.
They're good though. They're good.
Once you learn how to peel them, you can peel them very fast. You can pop them out like nothing. It's Holstera says he came down to visit, and he's from Florida. We have a place called Raising Cane's here.
Oh yeah, chicken place, right?
Yes, and he had never been to one, and they had none where he lived. And we pull up to the drive-thru, and he's like, "Well, what do they got?" I said, "Chicken." He's like, "Well, what else they got?" I said, "Chicken on a bun." He's like, "You're joking." I said, "No, they have chicken on the bun. They have crinkle fries and coleslaw, and they only have cane sauce. There's no barbecue, nothing else like that." He's like, "You're joking." And he found out quick that I wasn't joking. You can get chicken or chicken on a bun, and then the rest of the stuff. That's it.
It sounds demonic to me. I don't know, Ken. You're a Christian guy too. Like Raising Cane's, I don't know.
Raising Cane's.
Sounds like sounds sinful eating there.
It was named after the guy's dog. Believe it or not, dog's name was Cain.
Who was possessed by the devil?
It
No.
sounds like Bubba Gum.
He was a good dog. Put it this way, I just had this. Was talking to somebody today. It was funny. We brought this up. The guy that owns it's like a multi. He's extremely rich now.
I heard the chicken's great.
Oh, it is. And last year during a parade season, we had whole stairs talking about the guy that owns Raising Cane's was out there, and he rents a float from this company that I work for, escorting, and he had Nelly with him, and the singer Nelly.
Oh yeah,
he was with him on the float and everything. We escorted all these floats and stuff. And we got to the end, and they had the dog out there too. Well, it's not the original one, but Kane, the dog, the mascot, and I walked past, and I was like, people looked at me and said, because I looked at Nelly, I said, "Could you move, please? I'm trying to pet that dog." People were like, "You told Nelly to get out the way so you could pet the dog." I was like, "Yeah, because he's standing in front of the damn dog. I wanted to pet the dog. I wasn't worried about him." People were like, "So you pass up a celebrity person, told him to get out the way because you wanted to," just like that TikTok video. "Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?" That's what but I'm like, hey, can you move? I want to pet that dog. He's not a very big fella at all either, but everybody thought that was just hilarious that I would tell, the celebrity guy to move because I wanted to pet the celebrity dog.
Nelly, he's 2015,
Yeah, but see, I'm old. My wife tells me I got to get out the 80s.
The 80s. 80s is a great decade.
I love the 80s. I love the 80s.
I love that 70s rock, though, man. I don't know. I just when you put on classic rock, it's always the 70s, 60s, 70s. So
I'm not going to pull the videos up because I know Steve's time's limited, and we're getting close to that hour. We have to do it again another time.
Steve's
on the
a
video.
family man.
He is. My kids are all grown. I got 9 grandkids.
You're kidding. That's awesome.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah, you say that until Christmas time comes around. And it's not called awesome. It's called expensive.
Time for some overtime.
That's what it.
Got to work some Oscar tango.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm like, did y'all do any shop with the cops or anything where you're from out there?
No, we didn't. Some of the bigger agencies do that stuff, but we haven't. No one really appreciates us, so we're not really going to do that.
Steve, you should do shop with a cop. We've got 7-Eleven. Meet me at 7-Eleven. We're going to do shop with
Krispy
a cop.
Kreme, son.
Krispy Kreme. Watch out.
We did shop. I do shop with the cop every year. I actually love it. So
it's a great program. Yeah,
I love dealing with the children and stuff like that. Because as harsh and brash as I can be, I'm like really big into community policing and stuff like that. I'm always talking about the guys need to get out of your cars and get off the motorcycles and get out and start talking to the people in the community. Stop driving around just giving everybody stank eyes.
Man, you guys are beautiful. You're gonna make me cry right here live because you guys are the best.
Well, that's just true. I listen to your stuff even though I'm not applying no more, and hopefully we're doing background checks on me I haven't done anything, but listening to what some of these guys got to go through in like California and stuff like that, I'm like, Jesus, because when I got hired on back in 95, my application was one piece of paper front and back, and I filled it out, and I was already doing reserve work. I got called in, they hired me, I went and took a physical, and they gave me my keys, and I went to work.
Yeah.
Well, I had when you got hired, I had 15 years on the job already, so that makes me feel pretty good that I'm that old. Thank you.
Well, at least you're still kicking. You look 47.
Yeah, you know what, Steve? And I challenge you guys. I challenge you because I got my rowing machine and I got my hiking on my treadmill. And come on, guys. So by the next time we meet up, you guys have to lose 30 pounds by the time we meet up again.
Jeez, I'd love to. I've been working on trying to lose. I've been doing the Well, the place down here called Fresher. And it's like meal prep, so everything's, calories and all that stuff. I go buy all my food for an entire week. My breakfast, lunch, and supper.
JoJo, I love you. I want to say I love JoJo. JoJo's just my favorite heart.
She says you're still handsome. Stop sucking up, JoJo. I've been doing the meal prep thing. I buy my breakfast, lunch, and suppers, and everybody's like, "Oh man, it's like $126 a week." I'm like, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than me stopping and getting lunch or breakfast while I'm out working and stuff like that. Because one meal's $12. I'm spending like $18-19 a day for my entire meals for the day. So, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's not that much money.
Well, you go to the grocery store, you can walk out of there with two bags of groceries for $90. It's just everything's too expensive.
Well, I went
it yourself.
Well, I spend $500 a month in dog food. So,
jeez, my goodness.
Yeah.
What kind of dogs you got?
Yeah. Well, we got 5 Great Danes.
Oh,
and
great.
And of course, I have Duke the dog, which is being very good tonight. I'm proud of him. He's laying right there. And but Duke the dog. But I go through. I buy Victor dog food for the Danes, and that's 10 pounds a day.
Dang.
I got one German Shepherd. He eats enough.
I mean, you got to figure. I mean, my females are like 140, and the males, one of my males, he's tipping at about 170. They eat lots of food. Yeah. So it wasn't.
I hope they don't eat you someday. I've heard these Great Danes can sometimes get. I heard of. Remember that a couple years ago they ate this Great Dane ate its owner or something. Two Great Danes.
No, did you make that up?
No, they had some, but I think the person died previous.
Oh, my buddy has 2. My buddy has 3. They had 2 and they adopted 1, and he was having a house party. He's a younger cop, and there's like a bunch of people in the house, and this one kid that he went to high school with kept screwing with the male Great Dane, and the male Great Dane kept like telling him, don't do that. And of course the kid's drunk. So finally the Great Dane just latched right onto his arm.
Oh, he didn't snap his arm?
Emergency room trip. Oh, he tore into him good. But yeah, he probably took it easy on him, the size of his dog.
Because I can tell you, the mammoth bones they sell in the store for your dogs. They're like this big, and
I've seen them, yeah.
It's like a freaking cow leg bone is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give those to one per dog, which they don't get very often because it's $10 a damn bone, and but a bone that big you think would last a little while. They'll have it 5 to 10 minutes, and you'll hear it snap. They'll snap that bone right in half. So
bone marrow.
It's like when So if he said that dog, trust me, I know if one of these dogs grabbed a hold of me and decided to bite real hard, it's going to break bones. I walk them because the big male one night, I was out escorting a football game. Was on my way home. My wife was out walking them. She was probably about 145, 150 pounds. The big male, who's about close to 180 or so, decided that there was a cat in the yard that he wanted. So he took off after it, and she didn't let go of the leash because she said she didn't want him to go get run over. Well, he jerked her clean. It was like one of those things you see on video. He jerked her clean out of her shoes, drug her down the driveway because when she hit the ground, it knocked her unconscious. She got knocked out. Oh, yeah, we had to call the ambulance, had to get called and all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, everybody next week is looking like I just beat her because she got drugged down the drive. And it's like the dog did it. And they're like, oh, yeah, right. It's like it's road rash. It's road rash. But it's like,
Steve?
So, yeah.
Hey, yes. Steve, did you hear Motorman? Hear what Motorman just said? He said they had to call the ambulance. Straight out of South Central. Call ambulance. Call 911. Call ambulance.
They're actually, I did a background of a guy in L.A. who works at a new company called Ambulance.
What do y'all call it?
Ambulance. And the way it's spelled, ambulance. Is cool.
I usually call
it. I think I went with you, Steve.
I usually call it the boo boo bus or the boo boo bus most of the time. It's quite funny. You still got your goats? Did y'all sell them when you?
Oh, you know it, man. We were actually talking about selling them today. We're up there. It gets winter where I am in Western Mass creeps up fast. Fall is beautiful, and then before you know it, there's a foot of snow on the ground and everything's frozen. And my daughter's 13. We kind of put her in charge of like the goats. It's like her and my son have their little barn chores. And our fault, not really doing a good job auditing the job they were doing and cleaning up like frozen matted straw so the doors can close the right way. And yeah, it's a little bit rough. We lived in California before we had our goats, and it was like, talk about taking for granted perfect weather. Never rained, never snowed. It was always good. But yeah, we still got them. Got oh my gosh, 7 right now. 7 Nigerian.
It's the little goats or the big goats?
Little ones. They're like little dogs. They're actually really cute and friendly.
So what do you do with them? Do you eat them?
We've been breeding them. Obviously, there's 7 now, but for a while we were getting milk, and the milk is actually delicious. If you have fresh goat milk, it tastes just like whole cow milk. It's really good, and it's A2, so it's supposed to be like the raw version of goat milk is supposed to be good for you. But we're not doing that right now because once you start milking a goat,
you got to continue to you got to milk it.
Yeah. And then you want to go away. You got to find a neighbor. Be like, hey, you mind
milking my
goat? And they're like, no, nope, never done that before. We're not going to start.
What happens if you start milking it?
It's like a cow. You have to milk it every day, or its sack will get so heavy it can actually kill or damage the goat. Yeah.
Or like a wet nurse from back in the day. Like if any species will keep producing milk as long as there's a demand. If you stop milking, the demand diminishes and eventually stops. So if you want to keep getting milk, you got to keep milking.
Yeah, you got to get goat. You got to milk them just like a cow. No, my wife likes animal. She has a Russian tortoise, and she now has a hedgehog, which I call it a Chihuahua of the porcupine family, because it's a mean little pet. She loves it. I don't get what I want. I want a camel. And I want my own camel. She said, "Why?" I said, "I want just a one humper, because 2 humps cost a lot of money." Okay,
2 humps ridiculous. 1 hump is all.
No, well, 2 hump camels will start you at about $12,000.
Woo.
You can buy a baby 1 hump camel for like $1,200.
The extra hump costs you.
Yes, I got 5 acres. Everybody's like, "What are you doing the camel for?" I said, "To pet it." I said, I want my own hump day camel. So I don't have a camel yet. No, yeah, I mean, why not? I have the land for it.
Get it.
Well, I wanted some of them fainting goats, but she won't let me have that either.
You just want to yell at them and see them drop.
I just want to go out there and scare them and make them fall over. And she said that
videos on YouTube.
She's like, that's mean to do that too. So then I almost had some people selling some piglets. I was going to buy a pig, and she said, "Well, we're going to name it," and I said, "We're going to eat it," and she said, "Don't buy it because we're not going to eat it. It'll be a pet." So yeah, so I didn't get the pig. I mean, you buy. I mean, I'm thinking food. She's thinking pet.
Yeah, you guys going to have a serious talk about what the intentions here.
Yeah,
because a full-grown pig is a real pain in the neck.
Oh, well, I've had them before. I mean, when I grew up on the land I live on, we used to have chickens, cows, pigs, all that stuff like that. And I had up a bunch of chickens, and Derek Todd Lee, the coon, decided to come around and one night and killed 18 of my chickens.
Yeah, those things they'll massacre them.
Oh, it's ripped their heads off. I caught them. She's like, "Oh, look how sad he looks." I said, "That's how everybody in jail looks too." He said he got caught.
Yeah. I was sneaking my high school girlfriend back into her house at like 2 a.m. and her little brother was the sweetest kid. He was like 5, and he took care of their rabbits in this little hutch. So we're going by the rabbit hutch, sneaking her in, and we look over, and there is just rabbit fur and a rabbit head and a foot and guts, just all the rabbits just completely torn apart. And it was a raccoon. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, they're vicious. They don't even eat them. They'll just rip their heads off.
Like, what are you going to tell your brother? It's a massacre. You should clean this up.
Got a hold of my duck, the white ducks. And have you ever eaten duck eggs?
No, I heard they're delicious.
Yeah, my duck. I had 2 ducks. They were laying the white ducks, and one duck egg is equivalent to about 2 or 3 chicken eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, the yolk and stuff. And first, I got my duck and everything else. Yeah, I was mad. What about you, Ken? You a city boy or?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Short answer, yes.
I was thinking, as you guys were talking, I was thinking we used to have this little dog. It was kind of like a Chihuahua dog, and he had a habit of taking all the toys and taking them into the doghouse, and he would just he would just keep them to himself, and all the toys would be gone. So my wife, she decided, yeah, screw this. So she lifted up the back of the doghouse so all the toys would come out. All the toys come out, and all rolling out was this gopher head. There was nothing but the gopher head, and we couldn't figure that out. But that's my adventure story.
That's your. Hoppy says he had a raccoon get in his chicken coop and killed 25 chickens in one night.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah. So how's business is going? Good with you, Ken?
Yeah, I've been. I'm still doing the police background consultations at policebackground.net. Shameless plug, policebackground.net, and then we got the Police Applicant podcast, and that's a blast. We do those every couple of weeks. We got a YouTube live that we do.
I want to.
And
I know you were
Steve's been
live.
on both.
I'm gonna have to check out your.
Yeah,
live.
we do. We do them live, and then so we have the channel, and then we do it when we go live. The funny thing is that because I live out in the rural area, so we're still on DSL. So instead of me trying to upload, it would take like 2 weeks to upload a video to YouTube. I just go live, and whatever it is, and once I click we're done, it's on there.
Well, that's weird that it do it like that, but it won't let you upload it.
I think live it's just
but
incrementally uploading the whole time.
Yeah, and so on DSL, my internet is not as fast as it could be, and there's no way I can upload a video. So I just go live.
Well, cool. If you ever need any extra guests, hit me up.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to talk about, but I'll talk about something.
I'd love for him to come on and talk about his background process. It sounds like it was pretty quick.
My background, yes. The last
They gave me a gun.
The department, the department I work for now, called a buddy. He called the sheriff. They said, "Can you come in Monday and meet with the sheriff?" I said, "Yes, I can." I went in. Of course, I've been doing this for 23 and a half years. I went in, brought all my stuff, my certificates and all that stuff. I met with the sheriff, and he's like, "Have you taken a matrix test?" That's basically see if you're crazy test or not. Psychological test. It's a whole bunch of questions, stuff like that. I said, "Nope, sure hadn't. Didn't do that when I got hired." He said, "Well, go take the matrix test, and I'll hire you." So I went and took the matrix test, and I think it's flawed because they said the major at the time.
Clearly.
The major at the time was sitting there, and he was looking at it, and he kept looking at it. I'm like, "What? Y'all said I passed it." And he's like, "Yeah, you scored so high on it." I'm thinking, yeah, just something's wrong with it. But it's like,
brilliant.
I just know, when somebody asks you, when they have a question on there, and it says, if something happens on shift, and to a suspect in this, do all the people that you work with get together so you have the same story, or y'all all sit back and write your own report? I'm like, oh, you can't get together and do that. That would be wrong, But, we know what really happens. What, you think I'm stupid? I'm not going to answer like that. If a suspect spits in your face, do you punch him, or do you just wipe it off and have to put the charges on them later? Well, what do you think? They asked me, if I loved my dad like 20 different times, 20 different ways. I don't know. It was crazy, but I walked in. I passed the test. They called me up a week later. I went in, had the sheriff and all them there, and he's like, "This is what I can pay you." Showed me a piece of paper, and I was like, looks good to me. He said, "When can you start?" I said, "About a week." He said, "How about today?" I said, "You're the boss." He said, he called the training guy in there. He said, "Look, get him a gun, go qualify him, go get him his duty gear. He'll be on this shift." I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "Oh, by the way, before you leave, make sure you fill out an application because we need to have that on file."
I like it.
So,
fast and dirty, baby.
but of course, he had talked to the sheriff that I had worked for, department I worked for before, and basically said, if you don't hire him, you crazy, you'd let him go. But so I got a really good review. But yeah, I mean, no, it's like the stuff like I said, some of the big places like California, it's like, geez, it takes you a year just to get hired and stuff like that. I mean, that's just crazy.
California's always been like that. LA's always had their they've been places that model themselves after LA's backgrounds, but they've been that thorough for a long time. I know the places in Massachusetts that have a real thorough, like we'll actually send a detective, put them on a plane or have them drive to your old neighborhood, stuff like that. They base it, a lot of it's on LAPD's model. They've just always been very, very, I don't think New York used to do anything like that. But LA's always been super picky.
If he's at Florida, it takes about 4 6 months. Now the old department, the original one I worked for, they've changed a lot. Now they have somebody that actually goes out and talks to your neighbors, and they do all kind of stuff now. They'll make you take the matrix. You got to get on a polygraph machine. They have their own polygraph people now and stuff like that.
We saw Iceman kissing a camel out in his back 40, so take that for what it's worth.
actually, there is a picture of me when me petting a camel. I don't know if y'all remember, it was on national news about a couple of years ago, and the lady that the camel sat on her head at a truck stop, and she had to bite the camel on the testicles to get him off of her head.
What?
Yeah, it was national news. It was out here in the area.
You were like, good boy.
And anyway, he was a camel. They used to have a tiger there. The tiger died, and they got a camel. They had a camel, and he's in a pen. You could walk up and pet him. I mean, he was a teenager camel. Well, this out-of-state woman let her little Chihuahua dog, I guess, and he got in the pen with the camel, and they were scared that the camel was going to step on the Chihuahua dog. So what does she do? She climbs over the fence and gets in there also. Well, yes, you're right, Hoppy, the tiger truck stop. She climbs in there to get her dog. Well, she gets the camel scared now. And what the camel do when he got scared? He sat down. He just sat down. It just happened to be on her head. And she couldn't get up, so she bit him on his testicles to get the camel off of her head. What's up, David? And you know how you're in Louisiana? Yeah, they charged her.
Charged her with what?
Cruelty to animals.
Maiming a camel.
They did. I'm not joking when I said they charged her with cruelty to animals because she bit this camel on his testicle. Because she trespassed into his area, and then
yeah, poor camel.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, she got, but it was national. It was national. It was national news. Yeah, I got a picture with that camel. He was very sweet. I used to pet him all the time. He's not there no more.
Steve, I think Motorman brings the cheddar, and he's gonna have to take over the cops in the news, because that story in itself was classic cops in the news.
Well, I'm not gonna.
How can you follow that?
Yeah, that's
Cannot.
bizarre.
Hoppy says that's nuts. You're right. What also they for the longest time, like I said, it's a new. They tore that old truck stop down and built a brand new one, to a big fancy one. But they used to sell like these gumballs in there, and it was a picture of a camel, and it was his balls. It says, "Here, take a bite out of our balls," and stuff like that. They would sell.
Man.
they had big billboards of a camel out there. It says, "Stop in and have a bite on." At the cafe.
Wow.
It was.
You can monetize anything.
It was great. Yeah, I mean it was quite the thing. But
that's funny.
It's you can't make some things up.
No, you cannot.
Not gonna hold Steve up. We have actually went over the hour. I knew that would happen though, because once we start talking, we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah, I had a great time, brother.
And
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Ken, hit me up if you ever want me on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're going into new season, starting in January, and so we guess our what we look for every month. So let you know for sure.
I know how that is. I know how it is. For some reason, this guy over here gets, I don't know, guessed easily. I have to work for him.
Wasn't always that way.
I have to work for him. I've been getting a little bit better. I actually have one I've got lined up. I'm not going to say who it is or what it's about, but I've been talking to the person that works with this person, and I think I got it lined up.
What's his email?
It is a lady.
Oh.
It is.
Next guy's a lady.
I've been wanting to get her on for a while now, but that will.
Cool.
I think it's going to be good. One yesterday was great. I'm going to have her back on. But I told you before, Steve, you got anybody you scared to interview, send them to me. I'll talk.
Hey, poach all you want, brother. If you see somebody you like, let me know. I'll do an introduction.
I'll talk to them. You like I said, Ken, I can come on and talk about. I'm a LIDAR instructor. I used to be a chemical weapons instructor and stuff like that also. So.
Oh, very cool. I just want to say, Jojo and Hoppy are saying hi. I just want to say thank you guys for the shout out on this podcast. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun to have the live comments.
Yeah, that's why I like doing the lives. It's just for the people. Like I said, a lot of these people found me from your podcast. I've had Dan Carlson actually came on as audio when they asked me questions and stuff.
Yeah, I listened to that one. That was great.
He's a good guy. He don't make the lives too often, but I got a lot of people from yours from that about a year ago when I was on there, and then stuck around.
Awesome. I love it.
Well, everybody go check out Steve on Things Police See. Go check Ken out on his with the back with. Plug it up. Y'all plug y'all stuff.
It's Police Applicant Podcast. Just Google the Police Applicant Podcast and we'll pop up. So, and we got our humble beginnings with Things Police See. Thank you, Steve. I bow to you. I'm not worthy.
It's an honor to be with you guys.
I enjoyed it completely. So everybody stay safe out there. Y'all come back tomorrow night. We'll have the news part. Freebird is out the hospital. He won't be on. He's still rehabbing at home, but he is out the hospital. Not sure about the box, but Holster will be here. And come check it out. We'll have some crazy stories to talk about. And Hoppy says you still have the best mustache ever, Ken. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay safe out there. Remember to smile, because I could always be behind you. And remember, we're not sheepdogs. Be a lion instead. Be safe.